Listen, SB with the truth, it might pitch your mind. And JP hit you with reality on the time. The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find. Conversation grown, opinions they not alone. Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and all around the United States of America, this is the Sean Brown Show on WQTS, digital broadcast, YouTube, Facebook Live, WQTSradio.com, and the TuneIn app. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday here in the beautiful city of Savannah, Georgia. December 1st. We are finally in the month of December. This year flew by, and we are almost to 2018. JP's in the building. Evans Davis on the way. JP, what's going on today, bro?
Man, chilling, bro. Blessed.
That's the only way to be, man. Only way to be. Once again, it is Friday, folks. Go make sure you get when you guys come into the building for WQTS radio fans. Facebook Live, make sure you give us the thumbs and the likes and the hearts and all that good stuff so we know you're in the building. Check in, let us know. We'll give you a shout out on the air. We are live all across the country, and this is officially our 8th month on the air. Officially.
Don't seem like it's been longer than that.
I mean, we've been doing this for a while, man, so it's been a blessing. So we definitely got to thank everybody for rocking with us and hanging out with the Sean Brown Show. Big time announcement coming out next week as we will be debuting our brand new website, speakingthemic.com. We'll be going live next Friday. So you guys make sure you stay tuned for that information and be a part of it. Stay tuned on the Facebook Live page so you can see what's going on. It's going to be a good time, and we're looking forward to it. Lots happening right now, especially right now on CNN and with Donald Trump and Michael Flynn. There's a lot going on. We'll talk about that here on the air today.
He pled guilty. The process has begun.
Yes, it's this thing's going to go down when it comes to the president. But, folks, my fear is that his predecessor? No, not predecessor. His successor will be worse than what we are dealing with now.
I don't think so.
You don't think Mike Flynn's going to be worse than Donald Trump?
Mike Flynn is not his.
Mike Pence, I'm sorry.
Mike Pence, no. Mike Pence saw the trouble he got in doing what he did. Why would he do the same thing?
Well, folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, Michael Flynn has pled guilty, saying that he was cooperating, saying that he will now cooperate in a Russian probe. If you know before, he essentially told the FBI that he had nothing going on with Russia, which was, in fact, a lie. So the White House is under incredible scrutiny right now, and it's going to be interesting to see what's going on and how this all develops when it comes to the future of our president and the Oval Office and his administration. Evans Davis in the building. What's going on, brother?
Man, I'm cooling, man. I apologize for my JP-ish interest.
Don't put me in your foolishness, brother.
But glad to be here.
Man, it's Friday. We always like to have a good time on Friday. Of course, we had a good time on Wednesday.
Wednesday, shame. Y'all didn't see Wednesday's show. Please go back in the archives on the Facebook page.
Vintage JP.
Hey, you touching it?
It was a good time.
Shut your mouth.
It was a good time. Don't forget, folks, if you guys have complaints about Wednesday's show, send them to JP, courtesy of jpsmedia@gmail.com.
Whatever. And let me go ahead and give my disclaimer right now since you want to send stuff to my email.
Let's get it.
Okay, I might have been wrong since more people have come out and said something about
Matt Lauer.
Lauer.
I said it right.
Because you know what? You're going to need a lawyer if you pronounce his name wrong.
Lauer like flour.
But my whole discussion was, look at the possibilities. And in a related story, locally, women gets arrested for false claiming rape. Right there on Wilmington Island, right there next to us. So the possibilities are there. But, 18,000 people have come out on him now, so he's screwed.
What about Russell Simmons?
I heard about that.
That one caught me off guard.
I'm
it's
not
an allegation.
Surprised.
But
that is Russell or just another person?
That is Russell. I'm surprised.
You never know. Some of the most, I don't know how to characterize this guy. The people that do everything for the community, blah blah blah. Everybody's got a hidden life. Everybody's doing something. What's done in the dark comes to the light eventually.
True.
With everybody. So it's always good to just be on the straight and narrow. But I'm a little bit surprised, but then again, I'm not, because he's always been in the news when it came to his wife and his kids had a show and the turmoil with that a few years ago. So, everybody's got a hidden dark secret somewhere.
It's just an interesting situation, especially with Russell Simmons, because he's so positive in the community.
That's what
and
I'm
does
saying.
so
You know,
much.
somebody like that where all you really hear is positive stuff about
Russ
it.
card.
When something comes out about him, you're like, but in retrospect, let's look at it the way it is. Everybody's got a deep, dark secret.
Skeletons, I like to place
There
it.
you go,
They got
skeletons.
skeletons in their closet. They may not be the proudest of, and I'm not saying that this is one of those situations, but you know, they say it happened in 1991, and he jumped in front of it by just stepping down and saying what he said in his statement. But he said, my recollection of that night was different from hers, but obviously she felt a different way. So I'm gonna step down from all my companies and
see, he stepped down to protect his companies,
Yeah,
which is smart.
very. He
Because
stepped in front
essentially
of it.
he's saying I didn't do it. It's not what she's saying it is. I think she's trying to be convenient in that situation,
Right.
Not Matt Lauer situation.
But for the
in
safety
that
of my
situation,
company,
that's convenience.
And you have to, and JP did have a point yesterday about that. It's a possibility that those things happen. He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But each situation is different. And again, when you got proof or they could say, yes, I'm sorry, I did it, then it is what it is. So, as I always say, this won't be the last of it. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah,
And I'm
especially
still
in the
kind of
industry.
surprised that it hasn't made it to the Oval Office yet. But it's coming.
Wait for it.
It's coming. It's coming. I can't say I'm looking forward to it making it to the Oval Office, but it's coming. But yeah, the biggest thing.
Grab a twat.
Rebel, what?
Yeah, yeah.
A who?
You know,
Twat.
you can say
God.
that on the radio. It's legal.
Oh, I can't say that though.
You can't use explicit.
Oh, okay.
Twat's not explicit.
It's not explicit.
I ain't never heard that word
Not
used on the
explicit.
radio.
They
Really?
use it on
Twat?
They use it on local FM all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so,
It's in all the music.
so I can say grab him by the twat and not get fired. No.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean,
Found a new
we're not
word,
gonna sit here
America.
and to repeatedly
Yeah,
say it,
just-
but
I
you
found
know.
a new word.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
Brand new word.
Yeah,
Hey, shut up. Wait a minute. Shut up.
but yeah, Savannah State men's basketball was in action last night against Carver College. Carver College fell to 1-13 last night, so that should give you a good idea how interesting the game was. A final score 98-60 in front of a crowd of about 25, and it was fun.
Well, the only thing that they're missing, I mean, if you really want to put a emphasis on who they playing, it's really Carver Bible College.
Yeah,
So that tells you all you need to know about that competition.
yeah, it was a good game. We finally saw the emergence of freshman Releke Orizu, who had quite a few Sports Center worthy plays last night.
I bet.
He had a putback dunk. The ball was literally under the net already. He jumps up, grabs in front of the net, and practically windmills it with two hands back into the rim.
Okay.
It was impressive. It was fun to see.
Did the 25 people cheer?
No, no, it was
JP.
the audience at Savannah State so far this season has been dismal and depressing. Even though we have such an exciting team, which is depressing. It's frustrating to see as a public address announcer. But I think once we get to conference, it'll pick up a little more.
I think it'll pick up because I don't know how the crowds are and how the following of the conference teams are. Do people come down? No, I know South Carolina State. They're
Well,
right
the teams
here.
travel, yes,
Yeah.
but our students just seem to get more involved when it comes to conference rivalries.
I understand that. I understand that. You have to do a really good job of
You got to market.
You have to market, and as I said when the young lady was here before Thanksgiving, I personally think that the student athletes themselves have to get a little bit more involved
Yeah, they do.
in promoting and encouraging the student body to show up, and you do that by not only inviting them, but by being visible and going to different things on campus as well.
Yeah.
So,
See, they put it on Twitter. They'll put on Twitter, game today, come on out. But they're gonna have to go out to do some dorm raids.
Yeah.
And say, look, we got a game. We need y'all to come out. So, of course, they got a big game tomorrow. William and Mary comes to town tomorrow.
Yep. Winnable game too.
A very winnable game, but you're gonna have to have a crowd.
It's at what time?
4:00 tomorrow.
It's also the time the Georgia
SEC
Auburn
championship.
play. I mean, the timing of it on the Saturday, some real Savannah State fans and basketball fans will be there. But
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have the SEC game on at the scores table.
Mr. Ref,
Not paying
I don't hide the
attention.
fact.
I ain't mad at you.
I mean, our shot clock operator is actually going to be at the SEC championship.
Okay.
So I don't know who's running the shot clock tomorrow.
JP,
Nope. JP will be at work.
He didn't even get the call. I don't know who
Sure
they
didn't.
called.
because he'll probably be ×2 every time they score.
Whatever. So I guess those favoritive resets I gave you.
Well, no,
thank
I don't
you.
know if you didn't
Have no
notice
idea,
though,
but
the
thank you.
rules have changed. Shot clock rules changed drastically this year for NCAA basketball for men's ball.
30 seconds?
It's still 30 seconds, but if there's a foul in the backcourt, it resets to 30. If it's a foul in the front court, it stays where it is on the clock.
Okay.
If there is a out of bounds or a foul, if there's a foul before you reach half court and there's not a 10-second violation yet, the clock stays where it is. So you can still have a 10-second violation right after that foul. It's some difficult stuff, and then it's a 20-second reset now. It's no longer a 15. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. 2-2-1 back into a zone, kill some clock, make them take a bad shot, rip it and go.
Yeah, it's 26 rule changes in NCAA men's.
You can tell when a coach is in the building, boy. Steady drawing up X's and O's, boy.
But back to the Savannah State game last night. The Tigers did win at 98-60. They shot a whopping, 25% from 3-point, 42 from the field, and 70% from the free throw line.
Still haven't gotten a rhythm on the three-pointers, huh? I don't know. I don't know if it's just good shooters taking bad shots, or are they rushing, or just not taking the shots. But they got to figure it out, because if that's the game plan.
Yeah, well, some of these guys are still trying to find their rhythm. If you look at like Javaris Jenkins, who was the star, he redshirted last year.
Right.
The star player the year before that. He just hasn't been able to find his stride yet. 1 for 4 last night in 10 minutes of action. I mean, his minutes are going down because his actions, he's not producing.
Right.
Dexter McClanahan was 4 for 11, 3 for 8 from the 3-point line, 13 points. But right now, the man to beat is Alante Fenner. He's the only one that's really going to the cup, but he's still pulling. I mean, he took up 3 threes last night, but we've seen him.
Scratch your head. Huh?
Yeah, he takes some questionable shots.
This is the game where
you get your rhythm,
right? Because you know you're gonna win. You're playing I don't want to take discredit Carver College for any reason, but you're playing a cupcake team. You know you're gonna win. This is the game where you find your stride, because from here it doesn't get any easier. William and Mary comes in right after them, and then a couple of weeks you hit conference play?
You know, they got a very heavy schedule before conference
Texas
play.
A&M,
They got William and
Baylor
Mary tomorrow. Then they go to Georgia Southern next Saturday.
My goodness.
Because you have finals coming up this week. Texas A&M, Baylor, Virginia, Michigan State,
Boy,
all before they open up the conference slate.
From the 13th to the 34th.
Oh, no, it's a gauntlet. When I saw that, I said, that is a gauntlet, man. And if this doesn't get those guys ready for conference, nothing will. I mean,
They should be well prepared for conference.
You know, they should be very well prepared. And again, you win conference, no one cares about these games. No one cares what happens in November.
And what's going to be big is games like this. The way this non-conference schedule is set up, it's going to benefit more so those freshmen that are coming in. Your Releke Orizu, who's a freshman, 6'8", they call him Sticks. The kid can play. But this is going to give him that, okay, you can bang down there with some of these big-name teams. Now you're going to get to MEAC. It's nothing. It's nothing. Granted, some of these guys, they got some of the same size, but as a freshman, you need that confidence coming into conference play.
Now let's just pray, God forbid, they are playing 4 big universities.
Yeah.
A&M, Baylor, Virginia, Michigan State. Let's pray, Lord willing, that
and an RPI of 33 from Georgia Southern. By the way,
I'll be at that game. That should be a good game.
Let's pray that these guys don't get hurt.
I doubt that'll be the situation.
When you go into Michigan State, you're facing Miles Bridges. That's number 1. That's tough, difference between MEAC, Big Ten, MEAC, ACC, MEAC.
I don't know. The MEAC is a pretty physical conference. Maybe not. You might not have as much as the talent side from individual in the MEAC, but physicality. The MEAC brings it. They go in there. They don't care who you are. They're gonna bang with you. It's just shots falling. That's the difference between the MEAC and a lot of the bigger schools. That's
gonna be very, very key that y'all hit them jump shots. Man.
But we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to the conference slate. It's going
to
be fun to see.
Man. It should be good. I expect them to do better, though.
They'll do fine.
As a coach, if I'm going to these games, obviously you going in, you want to compete.
Yeah,
just compete.
Yeah.
Let's see, if we can execute some have some offensive execution against some of these high major teams. It's not what it used to be. Now I know these are quote unquote the big boys, and there are levels to everything, but Any given day, and it's gotten younger. You know, college basketball, NBA has gotten younger. So, you can go out there and show some progress, and then hopefully correlate that to your conference schedule. But just compete. Go out there to compete. Don't go out there and say, this is Michigan. We ain't got no chance. Or this is A&M and Baylor. We ain't going to win again. Realistic. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that realistically stuff.
Yeah.
No, you go out here and you compete, and you never know what happens. So I hope that going into those games, they have a rhythm. That would help to hit to go maybe 35%, 40% from 3-point range.
Well, see, it'd be wonderful if they could come in and they can take out William & Mary and then take out Georgia Southern. They have plenty of rhythm going in.
Great wins,
big time wins. And like I said, for those listening in the Low Country in the city of Savannah, we need y'all to come out and support tomorrow. 4 o'clock tip off at Tiger Arena. That's a big game. William & Mary coming out of the Colonial Athletic Association. It's going to be a big one. Georgia Southern. That's just a local rivalry now.
That's gonna be a good one, man.
It's gonna be a good game.
Georgia Southern, like I say, they beat Wake, and they had some good wins. They're 5-2 right now, and at their place, I think the women won at their place.
Savannah State women did win this past Wednesday night against Georgia Southern. Final score 71-68 or 71-67. I'm sorry, I might have got that wrong. But the Tigers did win. It was a good win. So congratulations to the Lady Tigers of Savannah State beating Georgia Southern, and it was a comeback win, by the way.
Was it really?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a comeback win. So big time things going on. But this weekend, the stories of this weekend, it's championship weekend in NCAA football, folks. And that's the headline for this weekend. And that's what we're going to talk about most of the day today is NCAA football, because that's all that matters this weekend, to be honest, outside of that one game.
I have to unplug my – okay, maybe I don't. I have to unplug my soundboard because I have a clip I want to play that I watched yesterday. Very, very interesting to me. As far as Alabama's placement in this playoff, past. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to the subject of Alabama. But
but see, placement is not going to matter until after this weekend.
Right.
That's the only thing that's going to matter.
See what this man has to say, and I mean, it's Colin Cowherd from ESPN. So.
Colin.
Yeah. So he had a lot of interesting things he was saying. Some of them I didn't agree with. Most of it I did agree with. So it's interesting what Nick Saban has been able to do in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
We'll see. We'll see when we get to that. Let's run down the lineup for tomorrow's games. It is championship weekend. Starting out with the American Athletic Conference championship game. It's presented by Kay Jewelers. Number 20 Memphis versus number 14 UCF is in Central Florida. At 12 o'clock, our good friend Mark Buckner got to check in a University of Central Florida game the other day. 12:30 kickoff for TCU in Oklahoma for the Big 12 championship. 4 o'clock is the game everybody in Georgia wants to see on CBS. Georgia versus Auburn. Number 6 Georgia versus number 2 Auburn. Georgia comes in 11-1. Auburn comes in 10-2 for the SEC championship at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It's supposed to be 65 degrees too. Not going to matter because it's indoors.
That's right, and no one's giving Georgia a chance. Why Georgia got to come out here and pull this one out?
Let's go Bulldogs. 7:45 kickoff on ESPN. Number 25 Fresno State against Boise State for the Mountain West Football Championship presented by Hampton by Hilton. ABC at 8 o'clock. Number 7 versus Miami versus number 1 Clemson. The Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, of course, 8 o'clock on Fox as well. Ohio State versus Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship. Ohio State number 8, Wisconsin number 4 in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. They're going to finally see some good football in Indianapolis.
Oh, shade. Wow.
The Colts are playing terrible. Just like my Redskins.
Miami Clemson point, sticks out to me because Miami's running back is out for the rest of the season with an injury. He is a key focal point in Miami's offense. I think Clemson will definitely take advantage of that on the defensive end, probably making I don't know Miami's quarterback's name, excuse me for not knowing, but he's going to have to be a little bit pass heavy because he ain't going to rely on that running back that's usually back there chomping up yards.
This is the same quarterback that was benched. Healthy or not, Clemson was favored in this game. So
Clemson's favored it. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. But just coming out recently, Mark Fields and Trey Lamar will not be playing in the ACC Championship game due to injuries. Losing Trey Lamar, that's big. That's big, losing Trey Lamar.
Who is Trey Lamar?
It's
The quarterback, the wide receiver,
no.
the running back,
He's one of their
defensive player?
big defensive guys.
Oh, okay.
Both big defensive guys. So
Okay.
that's going to be interesting to see.
It should be. It makes good for the. It adds to the story, but my vote is Clemson on this one.
JP?
Oh man, Miami's hungry, man. They've been playing really, 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 really well. I think Miami has more to prove than Clemson does. Clemson comes in as the number 1 team in the country, but Miami hasn't been there in a while, and they smell it. They smell the blood in the water right now. They're close. You know, they're going to come out very, very aggressive, in my opinion, on the defensive end. I want to go with Miami so bad just because of that, but
So you're going with Miami?
I want to. My gut is saying go with Miami, but
I'm going
Dabo
with Miami.
Sweeney,
He's on the fence over here. I'm going with
Lollygag
Miami.
about a 5-minute dissertation about nothing.
I'm calling it. ACC. Matter of fact, we could probably write these
Mr.
down.
Ruff,
Do we
my
got a pen up
goodness.
here? We don't have a pen in the studio, do we?
Clemson.
Yeah,
or
I'm
Miami?
calling Miami
Pick
over
one.
Clemson. I'm gonna go
okay,
Miami.
so are we taking predictions right now?
Might
That's
as
what
well.
we're doing.
Sure.
We might as well
Okay,
do
fine.
predictions.
I'm all right with that.
All right, so let's write this down. Let's see. Let's write this down. JP, you got Miami? Come on, JP.
I got Miami.
All right, Evans, you said Clemson.
Yes, sir.
All right, Big Ten championship game, Ohio State versus Wisconsin, 8 o'clock on Fox.
JP.
JP, who you got first?
You know who you got with.
It all depends on JT Barrett. If JT Barrett has a good game, Ohio State.
Oh, if
So
he
you're
has a
going.
good
So
game.
you're going for Ohio State. You're calling Ohio State to win.
Don't
if-
put no
if
if,
you-
no if, no if.
No if?
No ifs.
Either
I don't know
Ohio
because if
State
he
or
even
Wisconsin.
is he even playing? Because he just got injured, right?
Yeah, they said he's scheduled to play.
He's scheduled to play.
Yes, he had surgery on his knee, scope or something. But he's scheduled to slated to play on Saturday.
JT Barrett, by the way, while you're thinking, 217 passes, 217 completions on 328 passes on the season, 2,728 yards and 33 touchdowns. JP, who do you pick?
All that talk about Wisconsin.
I'm taking Wisconsin.
All right, JP has Wisconsin. Evans, who you
All
got?
that talk- Ohio State, man.
Ohio State for Evans. I'm going with the OHIO. Ohio State is who I have to win that game on the upset. Let's see. Fresno State boys, do we really care about that game?
Like I said,
No.
the last time, the Statue of Liberty is non-existent anymore. Fresno State, let's go.
All right. So we'll put JP down for Fresno. All right. Well, I mean, they're playing. Okay, yeah. Georgia Auburn. I'm going with the Bulldogs for this one. I'm going UGA. I know Evans is going UGA. JP.
I gotta go Auburn, man. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I fully support Georgia, and I'm proud of the year they've had, but Auburn is over here steamrolling over people right now.
All right. Well, folks that are watching, we want to hear you guys' ideas too. Who do you think is going to win these games? Let us know. Put it on the Facebook Live feed or email us at the Sean Brown Show at gmail.com.
And doesn't Auburn have an injury coming in as well?
Running back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They lost their running back, so that's going to be big.
They'll see if he'll play, but
He'll probably play.
that's that defense we got to worry about.
Yeah, he'll probably play. Big 12 championship game, TCU Oklahoma. Number 3 Oklahoma versus number 11 TCU. JP.
It's hard to go against Baker Mayfield. Very hard to go against Baker Mayfield. Oh man, so many upsets, man. It's hard. I'll go Oklahoma.
All right, JP.
I don't want to go chalk though. One of these teams is gonna lose. I already know. I might be wrong going Oklahoma, but one of these big teams is gonna lose.
I'm going TCU.
I thought about TCU, but I like Baker.
All right, Oklahoma for Evans. I'm calling the Horned Frogs to win that one. We'll see what happens.
Texas
we'll see what happens.
Christian.
Do we care about the AAC championship? Memphis, UCF. UCF's gonna win.
I'm
that,
I'm going UCF.
That's pretty
I haven't
solid.
even seen Memphis do anything.
I'm gonna go Memphis.
Oh,
Put that up there. JP, so UCF.
Yeah,
Central
UCF,
Florida?
Central Florida.
I'm gonna go UCF as well.
They're playing in Florida.
That's our predictions, folks, for this
3,500
Saturday's
yards.
championship matchups in
Hey,
college
man.
football. Now, JP, you said you had some things going on about Alabama.
Come on, you forgot about the Pac-12, bro.
Oh, I did forget it. They're
Come on,
playing
man.
I was
tonight.
just looking at that.
Pac-12
Hey.
championship game tonight. Stanford,
No love.
USC. Oh, yes, right. He's a USC fan. Of course, that's why he's going.
Yeah, I'm going USC, bro.
So we know why he knew what he was going for.
Since
USC.
I said
I'm going
JP going for USC.
I'm
I'm
going
going for
Stanford.
Stanford.
Golly.
All right, JP. El Dork.
All right, folks, that you heard it first. Those are our predictions for our championship weekend. JP, you said you had some hot information about Alabama. You had a clip you wanted to play now that you peeked out our soundboard. JP, what you got, man?
I did. It's just something I heard on ESPN. Colin Cowherd was talking about Alabama. I want to play it, and then I want to get you guys' opinion, Sean and Coach, as well as everybody's opinion on Facebook Live, just to see what you guys think. So this is what Cowherd said about Nick Saban.
Clemson wins, they're in. They will. Oklahoma wins, they're in. They will. Wisconsin wins, they're in. I'm not sure. Coin flip. And then the winner of the SEC, Georgia-Auburn. If you think Auburn's going to beat Georgia, having beat them twice in Alabama and doesn't get in, what are you smoking? Georgia, if they can beat Auburn, Georgia's going to have a quality win on the road against Notre Dame. They're going to have a quality win against Auburn. They're going to get in. Alabama's on the outside looking in. I don't feel any pity. Now, I do think Bama has a chance to get in because if Wisconsin loses to Ohio State, and that's a coin flip to me, then you may have two SEC teams. But first of all, I don't feel pity for Nick Saban. I know Nick. I like Nick. He's a great coach. He's an all-timer. But they could have controlled the situation. Nick's been manipulating college football schedules at Bama for years. They play Mercer twice a year. They have a bye right before LSU. They always have a weakling cupcake right before Auburn. USC didn't have a bye this year. Their out-of-conference was at Notre Dame in Texas. Nick schedules out-of-conference games only on neutral fields. They're doing it again next year. They face Louisville in Orlando. They face Florida State in, Dallas. He won't go on the road. By the way, the times Nick's gone on the road this year, they got their ears boxed by Auburn. They should have lost to Mississippi State, and it was a one-score game with A&M. And those aren't great teams outside of Auburn. So Nick is manipulating the system. Georgia got on the phone and dialed up Notre Dame and went there. Total respect. Auburn got on the phone, went to Clemson. Win or lose, you had the guts to do it. Nick has been manipulating schedules. He knows it. His people know it. And nobody in the media calls him out for it. He won't go on the road for big out-of-conference games. There's always a bye before LSU. There's a cupcake before Auburn. And all he does is whine when he occasionally, every fourth year, gets a tough road schedule in the SEC. Bama does not have a quality win. Mississippi State, they're going to be unranked this week. LSU, that lost to Troy, that lost to Mississippi State by 30, where's their quality win? Georgia beat Notre Dame on the road. Auburn beat Alabama. Alabama's sitting home right now. Listen, it's over. If Clemson wins, and they will, they're in. Oklahoma wins, they're in. And the SEC champ wins, they're in. I would take Georgia over Alabama. Georgia will have beaten Auburn and Notre Dame. Those are quality wins.
Interesting. And he's right. If you look at the schedule this year for the Crimson Tide, they really haven't had a tough schedule.
Not at all.
That's very interesting to note.
He's absolutely right. That's why I wanted to get you guys' opinion on it, because we talk about all the scenarios for Alabama getting in. But as what we've just heard, should Alabama really actually be in to begin with? Because their schedule really doesn't depict someone who should be. And that'll mean I'll have to take back what I said about Wisconsin, because they didn't have a very good strength of schedule. But the same can be said about Alabama this year. They played Mercer before Auburn, cupcake game. They had a bye before LSU, right? Correct?
Yep.
So what is here? Okay, you beat number 3 Florida State at the time, 24-7.
At a neutral
site.
field.
So what else besides this, what we see, can tell me that you deserve to be in the top 4?
Well, it won't. I mean, unless after this weekend, that'd be an argument. Right now, it's just those are good points of interest. They don't deserve to be in the top 4 right now. But coming in as the number 1 team in the league, you can't get knocked out because you ain't lost, whether you play somebody or not. I mean, he can't control the bye, can he? Coaches don't place the bye.
And coaches have a say in the scheduling, but
right.
They don't pick all the scheduling either.
No, non-conference you do, and if look, the system is here to be manipulated.
Okay, so you pick your non-conference schedule,
right.
Correct? Mm-hmm. Don't you think you would have wanted to pick maybe what did you play? Western Kentucky,
Well, this
Kent
is last
State.
year's schedule we're looking at.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
last year.
Looking at last year's schedule. I mean, last year is
look at who they played: 19 Ole Miss, 20 USC,
but
16.
then look at all them ranked teams.
Yeah, they had a schedule last year. They opened up with USC. Yes, it was at neutral field, but
tough.
Ole Miss,
That's a tough schedule right there.
Kentucky was decent last year. Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas A&M back-to-back. Those Arkansas, Tennessee are 2 away games on the road.
9 ranked teams.
At LSU, and they barely got out of that one, 10-0.
Well, again, like I said, basketball coaches do the same thing. At the end of the year, and college football is different, they look at your record. So I'm not – some coaches, I want a very tough non-conference schedule to prepare my guys for conference, and it doesn't have to be high major schools. I played one year. I played St. Leo. I played Tampa. These are Division II schools that are really good basketball schools. Florida Southern. All those are ranked pretty good non-conference Division II competition. But I think the Peach Belt is the toughest conference in the league, top to bottom.
It's
now
the
there are
ACC.
good teams like Queens and Lincoln Memorial out there. They're great programs. Top to bottom, though, I think Peach Belt, at least it was the toughest basketball Division II conference in the country. So playing against those ranked teams, the Tampas and the St. Leos and the Florida Southerns, that was good competition for me.
Yeah.
Win or lose, you want to win. You want to go 3-0 or 2-1. But even if you lost, it was against competition that you will probably have to face in the playoffs if you make it. So, but I had some cupcake game on it, like Carver Bible. They made my schedule.
Yeah, they did. They did. I remember.
Coastal Georgia, when they weren't as good, Coach Watkins is doing a good job down there now, and they split with us last year. You know what I'm saying? And so you do schedule those, cupcake game, quote unquote, games you should win, because your team does need a boost. So scheduling is also very key in coaching.
Yeah, and
Very key.
I was just looking through the schedule for the last 3 years at Alabama, and it's very right, but perfectly placed. You put a cupcake game before the Auburn game. That's your biggest game of the year.
Absolutely. Smart.
Mercer,
I'm not gonna play
Chattanooga.
Georgia, then Alabama, and then Auburn back-to-back. No. It's emotionally and mentally draining going into those games, not only as a coach, but as a student. You get hyped up. So I need a game that, let's get some things going. Maybe I can play some second stringers. If we get them going, we need to be ready
Rest
for
some
Auburn.
guys.
We need to be ready for Florida from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, great point by Colin. If they don't deserve to be in the top 4 right now, and if Georgia wins, they're not. If Georgia wins, they're not. Well, should Auburn get in there since they beat them both? No, you need to win the SEC championship because you lost 2. You lost 3 if you lose to Georgia.
Yep.
You can't be in the top 4 with 3 losses.
I agree with that.
So Alabama's on the outside looking in. So what? If Auburn beats Georgia, what? No, they still shouldn't be in there. If everything goes planned, Clemson, Wisconsin, who else is up there? Auburn wins.
Auburn, Oklahoma
wins. That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
If all four win, there should be
Period.
no change.
That's it. So yeah, all that's good points, but Alabama shouldn't be in there, and I bet they switch it up next year. I mean, but last year's schedule was tough.
Yeah, it was.
That was tough.
No, well,
Even
last
before
year's
that.
schedule had everything to do with the teams they played too, because
absolutely. No,
I
just
mean
get
they
that.
were ranked for a reason, but then you switch to this year, none of them are ranked.
And the misfortunes of Florida State. Florida State was the number 2 team at the time. If they didn't go through what they were going through, that would have been a quality win. If FSU was FSU this year.
Yeah,
that would have been
they
their
got
top competition.
destroyed by injuries.
Yeah, and then Auburn, you know what I'm saying? You lost to Auburn, so SEC is not easy, whether those teams are ranked or not. They make it look easy. That's what people see. People score the basketball and say it
No,
looks
it's true.
easy, but it's not.
It's true, and I'm gonna say this: next year, watch out for Florida State because they're gonna come back angry.
You think Jimbo gone?
Yeah,
10 million, 10 years.
Jimbo's gone.
I know.
But the question of the day: what's going on at Tennessee? Goodness gracious! They just fired their athletic director John Curry.
After 8 months, right?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Still trying to get a football coach. It's a lot going on.
Isn't that the
down at
same
Tennessee.
university I stopped the bus on the other day?
Was it? I don't recall.
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, wasn't it the ones that hired the dude and then turn?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that was them.
Shiano, or whatever.
That was them.
How do you pronounce his name?
Greg Schiano.
Dummy.
The deal fell through because of backlash from the fans and supporters. This is before he even got hired. This is an interesting situation at Tennessee. You guys stay tuned for this one because, I mean, they don't have an athletic director now. They don't have a football coach now. What's next?
Well, they said, what is it, Fulmer, the old coach, is going to take more of a hands-on approach with helping decide the coach. But I had no problem with Leach from Washington State. He's a good
it would
offensive coach.
It would have been a good pick. But you know what? I have a feeling there's more going on at Tennessee than they're telling. It's more than this. Because remember, they're also an Adidas school.
Possibly. It always is.
So there might be some FBI stuff going on with Adidas, with Tennessee. You never know.
Be.
And they're trying to get ahead of the curve.
They said they spoke to your boy Sumlin out of A&M, but they said he's in no rush to coach. He got $10 million that's supposed to be paid out in 60 days, and it would have nothing to do with him signing with anybody else.
Ooh, he's going on vacation.
Man, I'm good, man.
$10 million in 60 days?
Hey, that's right. It has to be paid out in 60 days. So, CBS, NBC, ESPN, if you guys want a little announcer for this time being while I regroup, let me know.
Wow.
10 million, I'm good, man. I might sit out of here. Go travel a little bit, spend time with the family.
$10 million, I'm sitting out more than 1 year.
I'm good. If you coaches love to coach, so unless that fire dies out,
I'd be at a YMCA.
nah,
shoot like this.
It's levels. It's levels
Pass like this.
You sit out for a year and then you come back, but coaches like to coach.
True. You gotta love to coach because the ups and downs, the roller coaster of coaching, man. It's
Absolutely.
You gotta love what you do. But that's in any job, though. You got to love what you do. Otherwise, you're wasting time.
Wasting time and money.
Yeah.
JP.
Big time. Right, Savannah Toyota?
Boom, boom, Washington.
So, sources report that,
Rodriguez.
as JP was asking earlier, JT Barrett will be playing on Saturday. He did have a surgery, but he will be playing Saturday. He had a minor knee surgery, which means he probably got his knee scoped. Yeah.
He's only going to take one hit to that knee, and it's over.
No. Knee scopes, they just go in, they drain it, It's fine. He'll be fine.
One hit to anybody knee.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody knee. One hit to Baker Mayfield knee. That's a wrap.
And you think in the back of his mind he's going to worry about that knee?
No.
Is it his planting knee or is it his
You know why he's
knee?
not going to worry about it? It's called an injection, sir. Cortisone is an injection.
Don't feel nothing. Just go play.
He's not going to feel anything until after that game.
Feel it afterwards.
Okay.
He's going to be in so much pain after that game if he gets hit in the knee.
That's right. He's going to feel so good if he gets hit in that knee and then they win that game and get in the Final Four and then something's really wrong with that knee and he can't play.
No, he's going to get another cortisone injection.
No, I'm talking about something's really wrong. Like something.
No. That's what they checked for. They checked to see if there was anything actually wrong with his knee.
I'm not talking about when they check it. I'm talking about you give him the cortisone shot. Okay, you can't feel nothing. Ha ha he, I feel good. And then somebody hits it the wrong way, you can't feel it because you got cortisone in your knee. And then when that adrenaline wears off, that medicine wears off, and then there's something really wrong with your knee, like maybe like bone spurs or cartilage or something like that, you ain't gonna be able to play in the national championship series.
So good. So good.
But I understand. But I understand Ohio State's. They have to let him play.
The man is going to play. Let's transfer over to the NBA, man, because last night LeBron James did something Kenyon Martin like last night. I don't know if you guys saw it. That block he had in the game last night, he blocked the ball down to the floor and essentially passed it to his teammate during the block. It was ridiculous. As the Cavaliers did win another game.
Kenyon Martin.
As they continue to win. Remember Kenyon Martin in Cincinnati when he had the block in the
Player of the
tournament?
year.
And he literally blocked Buddy down to the floor. Yeah, it was crazy.
Player of the year. Yeah, and then Cleveland's in a rhythm. Atlanta's a bad team. They're 10 games in a row. But more importantly, it's good to see the Kevin Loves and Dwayne Wade contribute in a way that helps them. They were debating the MVP right now. Who would you guys say? Obviously, LeBron's in the contest, and that's why I'm bringing up the MVP race. But there was an interesting take on who the MVP is as of today.
Kyrie.
What about you, JP?
Antetokounmpo.
Well, in the this month of November, James Harden averaged 35 points and 10 assists, and his team
12-1
has maybe have the best record in the league right now.
12-1 in November, best league in the West.
In the
best
West,
league in the West, best record in the West.
So again, 19-4, 17-4. So they're 2 wins behind Boston's, but they have the same amount of losses. I would have to go with Harden. It's so much put into LeBron's 15th year and what he's doing, which is nothing short of amazing. But okay, LeBron's no better than he was last year.
Yeah, it's still LeBron. It's just LeBron.
It's just LeBron.
Yeah.
And he does what LeBron has always done. But it's just the narrative that surrounds him that puts him on such a pedestal with different people. I mean, JP might think he's the best of all time.
Who that?
You think LeBron the best of all time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not even.
Not even close, huh? And I agree, but
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. I'm still with Michael Jordan, but at the same time, it's like, since LeBron's doing what he's doing, no one else matters. No, what James Harden is doing matters.
Oh, it matters.
What he did last year mattered. And if it wasn't for Russell Westbrook's historic triple-double year, I still would have went with Harden
Or Kawhi.
Yeah.
It was the triple-double that put him over because their teams did better. And if winning doesn't matter, then okay then.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking at this point because
You can have all the stats you want. Win.
and the Thunder, as of right now, are not even in the playoff race.
No.
They're
They may not be.
They're on the bubble outside. They're struggling to really come together as a team. Melo's being Melo and playing Melo ball.
JP.
Doesn't want to. Melo has to understand he's not.
I'm supposed to care.
He's not the Melo that originally came into the league. He's got to understand he needs to play his role and be done.
Well, Nick Wright with First Things First with Chris Carter. I think that's a good show with Chris Carter on Fox. But he had an interesting point. He said, one thing that Oklahoma's doing is they think they got three superstars. He said, you don't. You got one superstar. All right, you got one star, and you got a really good player in Melo.
Yep.
Russ is the superstar. Paul George is a star, and Melo is a really good player.
It's the same situation as you had back in the early 2010s with LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. LeBron was the superstar. Dwayne Wade was the star, and Chris Bosh was the Raptor.
At that stage, because Dwayne Wade was for sure a superstar.
You can say the same thing about Golden State right now.
KD and Steph are superstars.
Yeah, they got two superstars.
Klay Thompson's your star.
Yeah,
Draymond is your really good player.
I agree.
yeah.
That second superstar helps, though.
Yes, it does.
It's convenient.
A la championship ring.
Second
convenient.
superstar, yeah, and I agree, and I think people. I told you guys this before, and I may have mentioned it on the show. Use great too loosely.
Yes,
Yes, big time.
Yeah, everybody's great. It's a great team we played. Don't try to boost yourself up for being a team by saying they're a great team. They're a really good team
Tell 'em,
that you
Coach.
beat tonight.
Tell him,
They do it all the time. It was a great team that we beat. They're not great. Great teams win.
You beat the Bulls, and they're the worst team in the conference. Yeah,
Thank
they were a
you.
great
It's
team.
Great team tonight, man. They play really great defense. No. They would play great defense. You wouldn't be having this interview tonight because they would have beat you.
Tell him, Coach.
That's real talk, though. And so, he's a superstar. Why is he a superstar? Because he's popular, or is it by his play? So, with that being said, how many superstars are in the league? Superstars now, and I ain't talking Antetokounmpo.
Kevin
Well, he's
Durant.
having a good year right now.
But
Can we
Antetokounmpo's not a
name-
superstar yet.
Oh,
He's
agree.
a star. He's not a superstar.
Can we name 10 superstars in the league?
No.
now?
10?
10.
I don't think so.
LeBron.
That's one.
Let's write them down. You got
Then
LeBron,
you got the obvious.
Yeah, LeBron,
KD.
Steph Curry.
Steph,
KD,
James Harden,
Mm-hmm.
Harden, Westbrook.
That's 5. We'll make it get 10.
Wall maybe.
No. And I'm a Wizards fan. No.
No.
Superstar?
He's not a superstar. He's a star. He's not a superstar.
Kawhi. Come on, man. Come
Kawhi,
on, bro.
Kawhi's on the bubble.
Huh?
He's either in or he's barely in. If he's in, he's barely in. If he's out, he's out.
I'm gonna go.
Dude,
I'm
you're
gonna
tripping.
go with Kawhi as a
Dude,
star.
you're
I'm gonna put
tripping.
Kawhi with an asterisk.
Okay, that's fine.
Just in
I'm
case.
gonna go with Kawhi as a star.
Just
Man,
in case.
get out of here. Look, think of what the Spurs were able to do last year with him in the rotation.
You go by his numbers.
As soon as he got hurt,
you go with his numbers, there's
Over.
no question.
Okay, so we're at
6
6 right now.
is Anthony
We're at
Davis.
five
a
and-
superstar?
five and-
yes,
five and a
Anthony
possible.
Davis is a superstar. Yes.
You disagree?
All-star
Not at all.
MVP. Yes.
Not at
He's
all.
a superstar.
What about DeMarcus Cousins?
No.
Star.
No.
He's a star.
Star.
Porzingis is a star.
They want Porzingis to be a superstar.
They do. They in time. In time, he will be. Chris Paul, star. Getting kind of short here.
Kyrie.
Kyrie's a superstar.
I
Uncle,
get
Uncle,
Kyrie.
Uncle
I
Drew.
get Kyrie that.
Really, Kyrie should have been higher up on the list.
The superstar.
We're just trying to get to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we at right now?
3,
8.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, it's really 7 and a possible.
Come on, Kawhi has got to be a superstar, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, Kawhi. Yeah,
You can't put
come on,
Kawhi
man.
off and Kyrie's there.
Kemba Walker.
No. Star. Cat.
Not yet. He's a star
Not
still.
yet.
He's still a star.
Boogie's not one.
Ben
He can't
Simmons
be
still
one.
a star. Joel Embiid still a star.
Well, Ben Simmons is only his second year in the league,
but the
so
kid
he
is a
can't
star.
be
I
a
I think
superstar.
Cat's second year too, right?
Yeah, either way. Ben Simmons is a star.
He's a star. It's a lot of stars. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Lonzo
When you're
Ball,
talking
role
superstar,
player.
your level of play is above the stars on a consistent basis. Not a good year. I keep telling you, you can have a triple-double year, not to knock what Westbrook did.
Well,
it was amazing.
so you said your level of play has to be above the stars,
Above everybody, all the regular stars.
consistently.
Yes.
So we can't say Antetokounmpo is a superstar.
No, he's a
Because
star.
his play is not above the stars, really.
I would put
I
Paul.
think he's been playing better than most stars in the league.
Yes, these first 20 games.
If you say that, then you got to say Paul George.
No, first 20 games. No, consistently,
No,
fellas,
no,
consistently.
no.
But that's what I'm saying. If you put
Paul
Antetokounmpo
George-
in, you got to put
Paul
Paul
George
George. in.
has
Paul George is borderline.
numbers is better than
Paul
Antetokounmpo.
George has been put in a star position on a team where he would have been a superstar anywhere else. He was a superstar
Touche.
in Indiana. He's a star in Oklahoma City.
I
That's why I
agree.
said he's borderline.
I agree.
But which one is he though? Because he's
He's a
putting
star.
up the numbers.
He wasn't a superstar in Indiana. He was treated as one, meaning
he
he would
wasn't.
get the.
Well,
but he
because that was the
wasn't.
only option.
Yeah, exactly. A superstar's play, level of play. I'm not just talking about the numbers. His level of play is above a star on a consistent basis. If you've only been in the league 2 years, you haven't had enough time to be consistent. You had a decent rookie year. Now you're having a better year. And Tecumpo's having a good year this year. Give me a couple of more of those, and maybe we can put you. Carmelo has had superstar in him when he was in Denver. Carmelo was a stud. Yeah, obviously you get older in age, and but the superstars, no, their level of play
Right
is
now,
above.
Giannis is averaging 29 a game.
But that's in 20 games.
Yeah, it's not consistent.
It's too early.
Not
It's
yet.
not.
See, the crowd is. That's why I said the crowd is fickle. It's instant gratification. No, not yet.
Everybody on this list so far has given you years of superstar.
Thank you.
Years.
LeBron, Steph,
So,
KD,
I mean,
Harden, Westbrook.
The only
Kawhi,
people that we
AD,
really have left that you can
Kyrie.
put borderline, Chris Paul, DeMar DeRozan, maybe. If he's shown
I
he
go-
couldn't finish in the playoffs.
I go Chris Paul before I go DeMar DeRozan. I tell you that much. Chris Paul has been consistently the consummate point guard.
Yes, he has.
Consistent
So would you call
every
him-
year.
I would call Chris a superstar.
Superstar?
I would call Chris a superstar.
yeah, you'd have to.
10 years of excellence.
You never. Chris Paul on the team, you're never lacking.
Tony
Ever.
Parker?
Tony's been out the mix for a minute.
Before the injury.
Nah,
No.
he benefited.
Yeah,
Three-
he
yeah.
benefited.
3
I
years
would
ago,
put
I would-
Manu.
I would
I
dare
would
say
put Manu
Manu, yeah.
ahead of him.
Who?
Manu Ginobili.
Ginobili.
See, a lot of superstars have left the league. Kobe
Yeah,
left.
yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Pierce
Absolutely.
left.
Yep. And it's next up.
Yeah.
Now you got some superstars that, quote unquote, that look like they're in the making, like the Embiids
Yeah.
and the Simmons and the Antetokounmpo, whatever you say, it's that Greek freak.
Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. So those guys are next up, but as far as the KDs, the LeBrons, the Kyries, the Steph, those guys are proven superstars.
So we're at 9 right now.
9.
We're at
Okay, so
9.
who?
We need a 10th
Okay,
man.
we need a 10th. All right, so let's take a star who could be a superstar next year based on his play of this year.
Got several.
Yeah, that's very.
That's several.
That's Karl Anthony Towns, Antetokounmpo.
So
Embiid-
out of
Embiid,
Simmons.
So out of those, who do we think would be superstar now? Now we're thinking somebody who's gonna, if they left their team, their team would be terrible.
I got a curveball. Oh no, okay. See, that's not the one I was thinking. What I was thinking is a Klay Thompson. If he leaves Golden State, he's a superstar anywhere else he goes.
Because Klay Thompson is really all his role is to come off screens and shoot. He can't create his own shot. His dribble penetration is mediocre at
Did you
best.
say he can't create his own shot?
He can create his own shot. It won't be.
But-
That's not a strength though. It's not.
Yeah, it's not his strength. He can't
strength is
take
shoot
the
the
ball.
ball.
You can't put him in an
And he can
isolation
defend.
situation and expect him to give you points.
True.
He's got to
Very
come
true.
off. He's got to
Consistent
come
basis.
off a screen, something like that.
They benefit from each other very, very well. They really do. Those guys in Golden State. My pick for who's up next, just from watching them play, boy, Embiid is special.
Yeah, hands down.
He is special, man.
I'm taking 1A, 1B, Embiid and Simmons.
I ain't seen enough yet. He can't shoot.
Yeah, Simmons can't shoot for nothing.
And they're going to...
Yeah, but neither can Lonzo Ball, but he's getting rebounds and assists.
Yeah, but we're talking about superstar, future superstar. Lonzo Ball is not going to be a future superstar.
No, Lonzo Ball's not going to be a future star. The only reason
Simmons
he's
is
a
also
star is
6'10"
because of
point
social.
guard. Right now, just like guys come in, you know how they're on Dak about, last year Dak couldn't do no wrong, right? Now the media is breaking him down as if Dak's the problem, and Dak's not the problem. You take a running game from any quarterback with the exception of those three elite who can sit back there with 5 receivers and pick you apart, Brady, Breeze, and Rodgers. The only 3 quarterbacks that can get no back, 5 wide receivers and pick you apart all game. Same thing with Simmons. Right now, you're taking the league by storm. Looks good, numbers good. They tried to fire you, Simmons didn't work. But you not being able to shoot the ball, they will adjust.
Yeah.
So this 1 year, enjoy yourself. 10 years of consistent play to me is Hall of Fame work. Not, he had a 5-year stint where he just tore the league up. Well, that was a good 5-year stint. But to be a Hall of Famer, I need 10 consistent years out of you. 10.
That's why it's impossible to make the Hall of Fame in 2K off of one season.
No, you got to be 10 years. You got guys that have come before you that career averages are 20 and 10, like a Charles Barkley, 22 and 14. At 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
10 years of numbers means Hall of Fame.
I agree wholeheartedly.
You can say, future Hall of Famer. Well, we'll see. Clay has a chance to be a future Hall of Famer. Well, Westbrook's in. Well, if Westbrook was to not play another game, would he be a Hall of Famer?
Not first ballot.
No, because he didn't bring him a championship.
Not first ballot.
Well, he hadn't played long enough, in my opinion.
Carmelo didn't win a championship. John Stockton didn't.
Yeah, he hadn't played long enough. Those guys played long enough,
right?
Consistently to be a Hall of Famer. Not just, I had a great year, I'm a Hall of Famer. He got a triple-double. How would he not get in there? Well, show me some consistency.
But you know what? Karl Malone took his team to the finals.
I would say the best power forward in the history in NBA. Over Tim Duncan. Over Tim Duncan.
I would say this. I would say this. Russell Westbrook will make it on a down year for the Hall of Fame when there's not a whole lot of guys
to pick from. If he was not to play another game today,
he would make it on a down.
It would be a
year.
wow.
Talking about with like
in like 15 years.
It would be
talking
a wow.
about where the ballot would be kind of weak.
In a weak ballot, he would make it.
He keeps doing what he's doing. He's a for sure Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know, how long has he been in the league? Has he been in the league? He hasn't been in the league 10 years, has he?
No.
Okay. After his 10th year, with his numbers, yes. But that's just me.
Has he? Wait a minute now.
He hasn't been in the year ago for 2 years.
Because he came right in the expansion year.
Brandon Ramirez, what's going on, brother?
He came right at the expansion year for Oklahoma City when they left Seattle, right?
Let's look and see.
Let's look.
Because KD was already there. Yes. He was in Seattle. And then they made a move.
Yeah, Westbrook played for Seattle. What's the name? Played for Seattle.
Yeah,
Durant played for Seattle.
Durant played for Seattle.
Let's see. But Westbrook is he's 29, so he's in his ninth season.
Year.
So one more year.
One more year.
And what's his career averages?
Career 22, 8, and 6.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers.
He's darn near career triple-double.
Those are Hall of Fame numbers. He'll get in.
Almost.
Look, he may get in now. At 9 years, he's close enough. He was not to play another game. He'll be a Hall of Fame.
We'll see. But you guys heard it first. That's our, we got a top 10 superstars. We only made it to 9.
We made it to 9.
I wonder if anybody else out there got a name for us.
Let us know. Michael Taft, we see you checking in from Savannah, Toyota. Let us know who you think another superstar should be. So far, we have LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and CP3, as in Chris Paul. But yeah, so I can't even pay Brandon Ramirez any attention. NFL going on this weekend. Last night's Thursday night game, Washington at Dallas. The Redskins just didn't show up.
Boom.
Final score 38-14. Dallas won it. I struggled to see as a Redskins fan that the roster was absolutely depleted, but no excuses. A loss is a loss. Congratulations, Dallas. Games to watch this weekend. Atlanta welcomes Minnesota on Fox at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Good game.
That's going to be a good game.
Good game.
New England at Buffalo. No point watching that one. San Francisco at Chicago. Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Houston, Tennessee. Denver, Miami. Kansas City, New York. Indianapolis, Jacksonville. Detroit, Baltimore, Cleveland, Los Angeles. Good win for the Chargers. New York Giants with their new starting quarterback Geno Smith versus the Oakland Raiders.
Cheesesteaks.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers
JP's
at New
boy.
Orleans. That's going to be a game to watch. 4:25 on Fox.
Tiny
Panthers
onions.
and Saints. Rams and Cardinals and Eagles and Seahawks. Battle for the Birds. That's going to be a good game, I think.
It should be. Mm-hmm.
That should be a very good game, entertaining to watch. JP,
Teddies.
you are our spokesman out in the city of Savannah. What you got going on this weekend, bro?
Bro,
Goodness.
the rich just keep on
Tongue-tied?
getting richer. I'm at Elon again. We got don't even get me the line about these people's names. It's so difficult to pronounce. They'll be there Saturday. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tonight. Savannah is Savannah. Same old. Nothing, nothing new. Nothing missing.
Well, you have that
Nothing
big
new.
Christmas concert. That big Christmas concert's tonight. Is that tonight or is that Monday night?
What Christmas concert?
There's a big Christmas concert that's that benefits single mothers. All the proceeds go towards it. It's got Lake and Love performing Antoine.
Oh, yeah. That's going on.
That's. Well, you don't want to talk about that, JP?
No, because I mean, it's a good thing to go out. It's a good thing to go to support what's going on. To give back for the city. But I'm not gonna.
Well, it's Monday. I'm sorry, it's Monday at 7:00.
I might be able to make that.
It should be a good show. It's the holiday season annual Savannah Christmas concert. Cookies, carols, and Christmas in the historic Savannah Theater in the heart of downtown Savannah. It's a benefit concert of love for Savannah single moms. It's going to be fun. Savannah's finest artists are included. Isaac Smith Music, Antoine Smalls, and Lake and Love. So it should be fun. Make sure you guys get out and support.
And for those of y'all that don't know Antoine Smalls, get to know that cat. That dude is serious, man. And I'm not saying that because he's my cousin and we're related.
Who are you not related to?
You.
Boom, boom, Washington. What are you talking about now?
Says my son's godfather says this now.
Oh yeah, we brothers in arms, but if we was to cut our arm open,
I'm glad you said
mine
brothers
would be
in arms.
red, yours would be purple.
I'm glad you said Brothers in Arms. Folks, if you missed it, I put it on our Facebook page. Yusha Thomas just put out a new
page.
Our Facebook
I
page.
saw that commercial.
Yusha Thomas just put out a new video,
Hey.
and I was in the video. I had a
Watch
pleasure being in
him
it. It was
rap.
fun.
Looking
we had a
like
good
a
time.
bag checker at the Hyatt, man.
It had it's already got over 300,000 views.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And he just put it up yesterday. So
Congrats, you man. Keep doing what you do, man.
Sergeant, what was the question?
no,
what was your
the
line?
line was
What was your line?
the line was a drill sergeant, sir. So I see we got some females in the platoon. Is anywhere I could just stay in their barracks? And
He would give you that
He was
line.
like, nah, pride.
He-
You're not going to get nobody pregnant in
He-
basic training.
He would give you that line.
It's time to stop.
Jeez.
No. Well, no. Some of us got. we
Drill
got
Sergeant, I've heard we got some
that how you
females.
sounded?
That's how you
well, see,
sounded.
the way it worked, I was in the church. I was coming from church, and I was.
We
in my,
can tell.
I was in my outfit from church, so he was like, "Okay, we could play the the cool daddy smooth."
Trial
line.
sermon sharp right there.
This guy. I should have left my tie on because my collar was falling down, but
It was crawling down.
It was falling.
Oh,
down.
falling down.
London Bridge is falling down.
Shut it up.
Shout out to our good friends Mia Manson, Mark Edits over there at WXYY G100, always supporting us and doing big things with us. Looking forward to a future with you all as well. And congratulations
copying
to
off
our
his
good friend B-Rad from 51 Degrees, who just got his new show every Friday at 5 o'clock on G100 here local in Savannah, Georgia. So if you guys aren't listening to us, make sure you listen to B-Rad on Fridays. And thanks to everybody checking into the show. It's about 2 minutes left. Just over 90 seconds. We got to send GP back to work since his bosses are watching the Facebook live feed. And
Real.
they gotta be on time to work. But we appreciate everybody tuning in to the Sean Brown Show. It is December, ladies and gentlemen. Get your Christmas stuff ready. Get the lights ready. Get the music ready. Get your eggnog ready because it's time to have some Christmas cheer. And don't forget, next Friday, we debut our brand new website, speakingthemic.com. It's going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are ready for it. You'll be able to book us. You'll be able to check our bios and everything about the show. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it, and I'm very excited about it. Shout out to our good friend Marley Archer from Digital Media. I said that wrong. She'll be on the show with us next Friday when we debut it. I'll make sure I have her stuff correct for that. But, yeah. Yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a great weekend.
Do we have any
Ladies and
pictures?
gentlemen.
Do we have any pictures of David of Coach on the website?
We're gonna do a photo shoot, sir.
Okay.
You're
All
gonna
right,
get
okay.
your information.
We gotta get that-
We're
we
gonna do
gotta-
a photo shoot before I go out of the country.
We got to get that extra lighting for Coach. Hey.
Oh, see this guy. This has been the Sean Brown Show on WQTS Digital Broadcast with JP and Evans Davis in the building. It's time for us to go. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys Monday, same time, same place, noon, lunchtime grind. We're gone.
Turn up.
His
Elon
mama don't
tonight.
worry about the lighting.
Hey.
The way to keep it all the way 100, it should be a crime. Sports, news, politics, on the show you will find conversation grown, opinions they not alone. Savannah be the home, they coming straight for your dome. It is what it is, gonna be what it's gonna be. You are rocking with the Sean Brown Show with JP.
And Evans Davis.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.